Good afternoon, APS 945. This is the video 2 assignment for program assessment using the model logic model formats. So here we go. A couple things. The assignment itself was just to take a program that we are familiar with, review it, talk about why it works, what could be improved, what our assessment of that program is, and then we'll talk about some references. The assignment itself, specifically, just take a look at the literature. So reading through a lot of the literature, quite long and extensive as it was, but again, very interesting as far as the logic behind how to program and how to space out and time out some of the activities and the outcomes that you're looking for in your program. It would help us to explore and apply different models. I like the differing models, the fact that there are so many when you really dug into some of the literature. And then again, at the end, of course, the need to analyze and evaluate the effectiveness of those models. So I looked at a program called Super Kids. It is our literacy program for our K2. It is our first district-wide reading curriculum. That's one of the reasons I liked it, is that it's district-wide. It offered a lot of professional training, not just up front, but continued professional training for our teachers all the way through the first 2 years of the program. It came with a lot of online resources so that whether we were remote learning, hybrid learning, or back in person, the lessons are recorded, and students, if they are in school, can go back and review. If they're out of school, they can be there with the class. If a student has been gone or absent, they can still go back and review lessons that were taught by the actual teacher. So I like that part of it. And then we also had the option to standardize the testing inside of it. So the iReady reading tests that go along with it are very nice to have. So we like that about the program. The logic model that I was looking at, there were a lot of them to pick from, but all of them seem to have some common themes. So when it talks about resources and activities, we had a lot of resources up front. We put a lot of people in place, district leaders, teachers. We brought in parents of young readers so that they could understand what we were looking at and what was going to be happening if this was a program that we selected. The activities, again, I'm not going to go through all of them, but again, one of the major activities I found to be helpful is progress monitoring within our system. So, and then the outputs, of course, what do you want to see happen? What do we think is going to happen? And then just some things that we know are going to happen short term, better awareness, reading skills for our young learners, things like that. But in the long term, we think it could have some impact on behaviors as well. So some of those impacts we looked at, again, students having the ability to read at or above grade level, improving test scores. And the one down at the bottom is called STEEP. That's one that we should look at as well. So just some ideas about logic model and some of the things I think that I was impressed by when looking at the success criteria, the things that also came out of it. We had district-wide meetings, which were very good for our district, for our teachers across our district at elementary level, to have a chance to sit down and really look at the research behind the reading programs. What is it providing us? What can it provide us? What do we like about it? What don't we? And a chance for them to talk. So we collaborated a great deal. It created an online presence for us. Our teachers are able to set their goals, their annual goals, using this program. Transferring students, when kids come and go from our schools, leaving one school, going to another within our district, they have the program already in place. So we like that. And then, of course, the accolades. Everybody likes to be praised a little bit, so we like the idea that it had some accolades. And then the improvements. Some things that I think I'd like to see a little bit more in-person training. This year was a little bit different in that we didn't have the people come out, but they did it remotely. I'd like to see a little bit more of our teachers that are not reading teachers get more involved, because we read it in every program. We read in every grade level. Again, an earlier online presence would be nice. We had to wait for some of the training to start, so I thought that would have been better. And then again, some of the remote learning, if I had to do it over again, I don't think that we would roll this out when we were in remote learning, but we did. We learned a few things, and in the end, I think it worked out okay for our kids. So utilizing the logic models, how do we do that? I really liked the fact that it gave us a map kind of a roadmap of sorts. When I was reading through the University of Wisconsin's Extension Service online document, it talked about the roadmap, that it had, the model was a roadmap with sequences to go through to, again, make sure we hit all the guidelines. So I really like that. Involving the stakeholders, our ability to review and adapt that program. Again, you just follow the roadmap. When it's time to review and adapt, that's when it has to happen. And again, I think we did a great job of communicating the rollout this time. Fortunately for us, we had rolled out a math program a year before, about 2 weeks before the school year started, and that was not good. This time we rolled it out 6 months ahead of time, and that was much better received by everybody. So again, that's the program that we have put in place. Here's my references, and thank you for watching.